Hi guys, welcome to my November reading recap. This month was very quiet for me. I read 5 books. I was trying to get through some of the books on my 10 before the end challenge, and I got through a few, but mood reading definitely got the best of me towards the end. I needed something different, but we're here. I read 1 at least, so that's a win. Okay, wait. I think I read 6 books because one of them was a reread. Okay. This is great. I can explain that one too. The first one that we're going to get into is Tom Felton's memoir, Beyond the Wand. Do you want to introduce some of the books? Memoirs are very tricky for me because I've only read a few, but I really am only intrigued by the people that I know or that I grew up with. One of the first ones that I read that I felt fully drawn to was Jeanette McCurdy's because I grew up with her on Nickelodeon, and when everything came to light a few years ago, I was very invested in it, but it's also hit or miss because sometimes you just don't want to know what is happening in these people's lives. Not to be mean, but sometimes you just have this picture of them and you could either be totally enlightened by what their book is about, or you could just be so turned off, not because of them, but just based off of the circumstance. With Jeanette McCurdy's book, I was very hesitant. I didn't want these memories of mine to be just, I don't know, warped in a way. But I'm so glad I read that. It was such an amazing voice. Jeanette was the narrator for the audiobook, and I think it just brought another sense of beauty into the story in a way. And the same thing happened with Tom Felton's book. I grew up with Harry Potter. That subject is so hard to navigate nowadays because I grew up going to book releases, going to movie premieres, and it consumed my whole entire life, right? And then things that have come to light over the past few years, it's just, I don't know, your memories are definitely warped in a way. I don't know, there's just a cloud on those memories, right? It's just a darkness. It's very unfortunate what has happened, but I was very hesitant on reading Tom's book as well, based off of just the events. I didn't know if I wanted to wrap myself into what his book was based off of the memories that were being clouded. I really do feel like the universe has a weird way of showing you things when you need it. And so I was going on a road trip back home. It's 3 hours there, 3 hours back. And I listened to it. I was I just need something to read. And I love that it was narrated by Tom himself because you just feel so much more immersed into the story. So his memoir takes you from him going into acting, right? Some of his earlier roles, and then gets to how he landed the role for Draco and just things that he did behind the scenes, who he was friends with, who he interacted with, and then just going into all of these role models from the films and in his life. And then his battles, of course, later on with mental health. And honestly, that's just something that's not talked about a lot. And I think it should be talked about. I have my own struggles. It was just something that just brought me back to my childhood and growing up and just having all this happiness, So I recommend this book to everybody. And speaking of a little magical adventure, another one that I rated 5 stars infinity was Silver Cloak by L.K. Stephen. So this is a very interesting magic system. So it's built on pain and pleasure. The magic is by wands, right? So you have this very witchy kind of vibe going on. The main character, Saffron, is an orphan, so these blood moons, who are the evil kind of, witches, murdered her parents. She's been on this journey of revenge for a very long time, lies her way into an academy to learn all of this magic stuff. It's like a detective. So the blood moons are the evil people, the silver cloaks are the good, the detectives. They're just the good guys, right? They try to uncover a bunch of stuff. It comes to light that they find out who she is, right? So to cover her tracks a bit, she goes undercover for the blood moons to bring them down from the inside, right? Perfect. Not only does she have to do stuff that she's so against morally, she has some feelings towards a guy. She has to decide throughout this whole journey, right, of deception, to go with what she believes in, or she's kind of finding out some things. So like, does she go with this new information, right? Her heart and like all that stuff. This was just such a different take on magic for me, with the pain and pleasure. It just kept me so connected to it. I never wanted to put this down. I listened to it as well. The narration is perfect. I hate that I have to wait for book 2, but this was so good. If you're looking for a different type of magic system, lots of slow burn, tensions, identity, obviously a secret identity, deception, stuff like that. Like, that type of tension is what I live for in stories like this. And it hit the mark. L.K. Stephen, or Laura Stephen, she wrote Our Infinite Fates. I also love that one as well. Her writing style is so beautiful. I can't wait to read all of her other stuff. It was my favorite one of the month, and it's definitely up there with one of my favorite ones of the year as well. We're going to talk about a quick little quest that I was on. I did not realize that I had reread this in November. So it's called The Sound of Storms by Anya Keeler. I read this earlier this year physically, and she just came out with the audiobook. I had the amazing opportunity to listen to it. It did not disappoint, okay? I loved being back in this world with them. You have the Fae and then you have the Shifters, okay? And they are under this god. Every year sends some prophecies to these seers, okay? These seers then tell, right, the Fae and the Shifters, like, what to do for that year. The Fae and the Shifters do not like each other. Okay. This year, the god sends this vision that both of these people, right, the Fae and the Shifters, have to work together to take down an evil being. We don't know who the evil being is. Got some enemies that need to work together. They don't like each other. So you have Arya, who is the Fae princess, and you have Luca, who is a dragon shifter. And together with this group of found family, they have to work together to, you know, go on this journey to try to figure out who this evil being is, but then also at the same time, take them down. Definitely recommend if you're looking for a book with like a lot of magic, right? Fae, shifting, dragons, there's panthers, wolves, other type of different shifters, found family, lots of tension, and then, you know, identities and everything like that. Like, you know, we have a lot of queer rep in here, actually. It's just such a fun world to be in. I also just really love world building books and having my sexuality questioned. Patiently waiting for book 2. To fill in some time, I also read The Necromancer's Light by Tavia Lark. So in this book, our main character, Shay, he is a necromancer, obviously. For his power, magic to be at full capacity, right, he needs human touch. Nobody wants to like be around him because he's a necromancer. Anyways, he just needs like this escort of sorts to just get him to where he needs to go safely. Arthur is that person. He is a knight of sorts for the kingdom. So Shay and Arthur head off on this quest, and they start to, you know, develop feelings for each other. You know, there's some stuff that happens to where like Shay doesn't want to be a nuisance, right? He doesn't want to hurt Arthur, or rather he doesn't want Arthur to get hurt, right? So he tries to deal with things in his own way, which in turn, you know, it hurts Arthur. Arthur has already been hurt from a past love. I love the quest. I love the queer rep. I loved all that. I know that not every single book is going to give me what I want, right? It was really great up until I think the halfway point, or like 60% through, when like the slow burn wasn't slow anymore, right? I recommend it for those if you really love a quest, fast love, queer rep, you know, stuff like that. Definitely recommend. I don't think it was for me at the time. There are only 2 reasons a non-seer would see a spirit on St. Mark's Eve. Either you're his true love, or you killed him. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I finally read The Raven Boys this month. It has been on my TBR forever. One of our main characters, Blue, is standing with her clairvoyant mother, right, on St. Mark's Eve. And usually she can't see any of the spirits that are walking among them until this year when she sees a boy. His name is Gansey, and he attends the school that's in the book. Blue has this thing where she is staying away from all the boys at that school, or at least the group called the Raven Boys. They are trouble. And she believes that because she saw him, he is either her true love or she's gonna kill him. But, you know, Blue just gets caught up with the Raven Boys, and it just... that's it, right? I'll say this. I'm glad I read it. Everyone, I feel like, always has this on their bookshelf. I've wanted to read it for a very long time. It's been recommended to me. I don't know if it's because I listened to it for an audiobook, or maybe it's because it's YA in a way. I just didn't connect to it as well as I thought I was going to, which is really disappointing because when I'm anticipating a read like this for the month or, you know, the year or whatever, I always feel like if I don't enjoy it, right, because I gave it 3 stars, I always feel like if I don't enjoy it, but I have this nagging feeling that I want to enjoy it, or like I want to reread it again, what I'll do is, because I listen to it on audio, I'll physically read it. And I'll see if maybe that's the reason why I didn't connect to it in a way. I want to like it. I don't want to torture myself to like it, but I definitely am very intrigued by it. So I wonder if it's just because so many things were happening within the book and so many different POVs, and like maybe I just got lost for a hot minute and I didn't pick up on certain things that like everybody else has picked on that makes it like such a great book. So this is one of the books that I really want to reread again sometime in the future physically and see if my thoughts change. It has been recommended to me a million times, so I'm going to recommend it to you, okay? And just see for yourself. Okay, listen, this next book I was supposed to read as an ARC back in like August. And I got so wrapped up in other things and I didn't realize I applied for so many ARCs and I fell behind. It was like during like a super busy time at work and I wasn't able to like physically read, right? Because like a lot of the ARCs that you get, you have to read like ebook and everything like that. I fell behind, right? So this was supposed to be an ARC and I didn't get it in time and I feel so bad. But I am very glad that I read it when I did, because I felt like because I wasn't super rushed to get a review out, I enjoyed the story a lot more. It's called The Dawn of Riker by Shayna Parks. If you like dragons, if you like a quest and journey and a world building book, you're gonna want to stick around because I recommend this book. So you have a girl named Elowen and she lives a very quaint, quiet, just non-adventurous life in this cute little cottage in the human realm. Everything changes, right? When her mother gets captured by a fae queen and her home gets destroyed and she is hell-bent on getting revenge for the ones that took her mom, right? She needs to go find her mom. She abandons everything that she knows to go to this magical fae land she has just been told is dangerous and could basically destroy her. She sets off with a great team of fae and shifters, okay? We got fae and shifters again, guys. We love it. We love to see it, right? I eat up a quest. I eat up a journey. I eat up found family. And this book just serves it. Shayna serves it. I'm going to say it right here, right? I put it in my review that I posted. When I say I want slow burn and tension, I mean I want slow burn and tension. You want it to happen, but then it doesn't happen and you get so mad at it. But then you turn the page and you're like, I didn't want it to happen. But then it starts to build up again and you're like, oh my gosh, this could be the moment. And then it doesn't happen and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so mad right now. But also I love it. I don't, it's just like, it's this vicious cycle. And that's the type of slow burn tension that I love. If you are against it, you can get out. So thank you, Shayna. Thank you for that. kind of weird hearing my name in this video. There are like probably so many other points I could have said, but I don't know. I just got so entranced with the slow burn tension that it occupied my whole mind. So 6 books, not that bad for November. Goodness. I'll see you guys in the next, monthly recap. December. I hope you're good to all of us. And I hope that we can get our end of the year reading goals completed. I'm reading Brimstone. I'm about 60% of the way through. So that's one of the books that I'm in the process of for November. So I'll finish obviously in December. Hope your guys' November was amazing to you. And I'm really hoping December is good to all of us. Once again, I will see you guys in the next reading recap.